Well, a lot of things are very unclear. Of course, the official version is that, yes, the extreme right in Venezuela, in league with the president of Colombia, who's acting as the agent of imperialism through financiers in Miami. I mean, they seem to have come to that conclusion pretty quickly before even launching an investigation. So one does have some doubts about that. The idea of the gas explosion has a certain plausibility. There was an explosion in a flat overlooking the site of the parade. And one version is that the sharpshooters, snipers who'd been posted there, military snipers, panicked at this explosion and started taking pot shots at a drone, which was in fact a government drone, which was filming the occasion. It is striking that nobody on the platform was injured at all. One or two soldiers or the National Guardsmen down on the parade were slightly hurt. The other version, which has been going around, is yes, the whole thing was staged. This, I think, most unlikely. This is probably the most unlikely of the lot, because I don't think the government has the capacity to stage something as complicated as that. But it has a certain plausibility, and the president was making economic announcements, and he's just about to probably abandon two of the main precepts of his revolution, which is exchange controls, or at least modify exchange controls, and raise the price of petrol, which is the cheapest in the world. This might be a good moment to rally support both at home and abroad, and it is noticeable that like-minded left-wing regimes in Latin America, Nicaragua, Bolivia, Cuba, and Russia as well have all rallied to support Maduro and express their unconditional solidarity. So take your pick, really. I mean, none of it's very clear.
As you said, much still unknown about precisely what happened. But what's your sense of what comes next? Will Maduro use this to consolidate his power in the country, or does this attack reveal that actually he's in a pretty weak position at home?
I think probably both. I mean, does he need any excuse to consolidate his power any further? I mean, it's pretty consolidated as it is. But if he is in the middle of trying to, he's talked about this economic recovery, which is supposed to be taking place in Venezuela, and this does imply certain policy changes. If this is the moment to announce those, there may be a certain nervousness in official circles about the reception this will receive. They've always shied away, for instance, from increasing the price of petrol, and the chances are now there is going to be some kind of rationing of petrol and an increase in the price at the same time. So they do need to consolidate the support, and if they're going to do a further crackdown on the opposition at the same time as rallying support for them, this might be a plausible explanation for what is going on. It is, as I say, very noticeable that nobody if it was supposed to be a mass assassination attempt against Maduro and the military high command who were all lined up behind him, it was pretty botched.
You touched on there some of that economic discontent that we're seeing in Venezuela at the moment. The IMF projecting 1,000,000% inflation this year. So aside from this apparent assassination attempt, can Maduro really continue to hold on to power with the public finances in such a bad way?
Well, you'd think not, wouldn't you? But he's shown that he can. And Nicaragua is following the same pattern now. I mean, a wildly unpopular president, lots and lots of public protests. But if you're prepared to crack down as much as is necessary, indeed, just go as far as killing people, and in Nicaragua we've seen hundreds killed, in Venezuela rather less, but ruthless suppression of the opposition, you can hang on in the face of the most terrible economic crisis. But they are now starting to consider that they do need to change tack somewhat on their economic measures, which have been wildly unsuccessful. If inflation is going to go into the millions, I mean, it is hard to see how they can hold on, but they are prepared to crack down as much as possible. And they're talking already about having made arrests in a smart neighborhood of Caracas, which is one of the strongholds of the opposition. They say that these people have been conspiring for months. I mean, it probably is an indication that further repression is coming at the same time as possible economic reforms.